more foreign nationals are employed in universities than coloreds and Indians combined. You have partnered to deprive South Africans from jobs that they can do and gives it to foreign nationals. Dr. Umpekwa has a doctorate, and a foreign national has received that job that belongs to her. South Africans are crying, and you are not helping. You're prioritizing foreigners.
They are flushing us out on the system. And we must see who are they replacing us with.
Then Home Affairs. What is the reason for partnering with the Department of Higher Education and Labor to make sure that foreign nationals gets jobs that South Africans can do? Home Affairs.
Thank you, Honourable Member Sauls. In the presentation, the reason for partnering with DHET is of the research capability that they have on the critical skills list, for example. And as
Sorry, sir, just because of my time, no disrespect meant when I interject. I'm asking that partnership that you are referring to, why are you partnering with them to ensure that foreign nationals gets the jobs that South Africans can do? Why are you partnering for that purpose?
Chair, the Honourable Sauls, I'm not sure if I'm going to respond correctly. Maybe Pindi can also come in. Your question is why are we, is your question, maybe I can ask clarification. Is your question, Honourable Chair, that we are partnering with those two departments to ensure that foreigners are appointed instead of South Africans?
Yes.
Maybe I could ask on not on what basis, but any foreigner wants to work within South Africa needs to have an offer of employment. And the offer of employment is issued by a person or organization or university who finds it.
Okay, what I'll do is I'm going to show you in a minute why. Labor, what is the reason that you're partnering with Home Affairs and DHET to ensure that foreigners are getting jobs that South Africans can do?
We don't partner with them for that purpose. It's my short answer.
Thank you. DHET, what is the reason for you partnering with the Department of Home Affairs and the Department of Labor to ensure that foreign nationals get jobs that South Africans can do?
Thank you very much, Honorable Sauls. We do not partner with Home Affairs and DEL to ensure that foreign nationals get appointed. The memoranda of understanding that we have specifically with Home Affairs is that it is our duty as DHET to ensure that we appoint a service provider that will work with us to not only, as Honorable Ngubane indicated, work with universities, but work with all people,
Okay.
where all people who are in the skills space
Okay.
to determine which skills, scarce skills, critical skills only that South Africa cannot provide, which then must not be imported. And our output
Okay,
is
sorry.
handing over the technical report.
I'm
to
satisfied.
Home
Thank you very
Affairs.
much.
Thank
I'm
you,
satisfied.
Honorable.
Thank you, ma'am. Home Affairs. As legislature, we gave you a law, Section 38 of the Immigration Act. And that law says that no foreign national must be employed unless the employer goes and makes sure that there's no South African that can do that job. Is that correct?
Yes, Honorable Member, it's in the,
So that's the law. You then went and created a points-based system. What the points-based system does, that you just explained, is that if someone gets 100 points, they get a critical skills visa just by getting 100 points. And how do they get 100 points? They've got to prove that the job that they're applying for is on the critical skills list, correct?
yes, that's part of it.
Now, the points-based system is not the law. So what Home Affairs has essentially done is made it easier for a foreign national just to reach 100 points by having a job on the critical skills list, then waives what the law says an employer must do. I put it to you, Home Affairs has made it easier for foreign nationals to get jobs that South Africans can do.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The points-based system, as was also indicated in the presentation, comes from a recommendation from the Vulundlela report. I think I said that the other time as well.
I understand. Tell me,
And-
does it do what I just said it does? When I'm a foreign national and I have a job on a critical skills list, you give me 100 points.
Yes,
And when you give me 100 points, you give me a critical skills visa.
that's correct.
And then I can go and do a job, and the employer does not need to find out whether a South African can do that job.
Yes, Honourable Member, because that occupancy is on the critical skills list,
I'll get
which
there.
indicates there's a shortage of that skill
I'll
within the
get there,
country.
but it's based on an outdated skills list. That's why I'm saying you and DHET is partnering, because all you use is what's on the critical skills list. And as we stand now, when last was this list updated?
2023,
That's
2024.
3 years ago. So all this time you are giving people critical skills visas. Employers doesn't have to go look whether South Africans can do that job, because you made it easier just by giving them points. That's not the law. It's affecting South Africans. You see my reasoning?
But the critical skills list, Honourable Member, if I can say, Pindy, maybe you can look at the Act, is in the Act and empowers the Minister of Home Affairs
I
to
agree.
publish a critical skills list.
I agree. But it's outdated. And it waives what Section 38 says. Section 38 says, even though there's a critical skill, the employer must go and look whether a South African can do that job. Your point-based system waives that requirement. Who empowered you to do that?
Can I respond?
Yes, please.
It brings me back to the other point I raised earlier, Honorable Chair, is that the Operation Vulundlela report, which was research conducted by the presidency,
that the law?
recommended that if you look at the points-based system,
Is it the law, sir?
what the minister then did on recommendation from the Vulundlela report is waive the requirement for the labor letter because of the points-based system.
That's
And
what I mean.
it's the minister's right in terms of the act to waive it.
That's what I mean. You are just saying to me, that's what the recommendation said, but that recommendation is not the law. Because of that recommendation, a employer can waive the requirement by the law to go and look whether there's a South African to do the job. Do you see my reasoning?
Yes, but also then we need to go into the points-based system, Honorable Member, with all respect. The points-based system, if you look at the criteria in the points-based system, number one, qualification. It says the qualification very high.
Sir, you are justifying something that's unjustifiable. The question is, does a person receive 100 points when he's on that critical skills list? Yes. And when he has 100 points, he receives a critical skills visa without requiring him to get a letter from labor. That letter from labor would have meant that labor says the employer went to go see first whether there's a South African that can do the job. Do we agree?
Is like that, Honorable Member, but it's not against the law because the minister empowered to waive that provision within the
I'm not saying it's against the law. What you're saying to me is, yes, it has that effect on South Africans, but it's not against the law. You are basically saying you are legally depriving South Africans from jobs that they can do.
But if I can just another comeback, if we look at the points-based system and what type of labor the points-based system is trying to attract, it's highly skilled, highly paid, highly educated individuals, highly experienced individuals. That is outlined in the critical skills, and that's why the recommendation, because it does not compete.
Who informs you? Who informs that? Where do you go to determine that? I'll tell you where you go. The critical skills list.
No, that's two different ones.
I'm talking about D-HET. We're talking about universities. Where do you go? Where do you go? The critical skills list, correct?
Yes, but the critical...
And it's outdated, 3 years. And as a result, and I'm only interjecting because of my time, because there's a lot I want to do. We both must agree that if my job is on the critical skills list that's outdated for 3 years, you as Home Affairs has created a system that gives me an automatic 100 points. When I have 100 points, I automatically get a critical skills visa, which means I don't need to have an employer first go and look whether a South African can do the job. Do we agree that's the effect of the point-based system?
That's the intention of the critical skills list,
Yes.
Honourable Member.
And do you now see that it impacts South Africans?
DET will speak to the research when it gets to compilation of this critical skills list, Honourable Member. And it's there to ensure that the country attracts the skills required to grow the economy, the critical skills that's required for these positions.
You now took my time. So I'll just, with the chair's indulgence, make a statement and then I'll close, Chair. Because my time is up, I wanted to ask other questions, but I'd rather just condense. So, to Home Affairs, to D-HET, and to Labor. Maybe it was unintentional, but you have partnered to deprive South Africans from jobs that they can do and gives it to foreign nationals. the 100-point system, waives the requirement of the Employment Systems Act, Section 8, that says an employer must first go look if a South African can do that job. Then you give them the letter that says you have confirmed that in good faith the employer went to go look first. But what Home Affairs has done is now is waive that requirement. As a result, Dr. Umpekwa has a doctorate, and a foreign national has received that job that belongs to her. How do we know that it's valid? There's a young man, Rowan Goliath. He has a BSc in chemistry and applied mathematics. He has an honors in physics. He has a master's in physics from El Dorado Park. He does not have a job. But when we look at the stats, there is a foreign national that is occupying that job. How do we know that? More foreign nationals are employed in universities than coloreds and Indians combined. We're not here to put you in a corner. We're not here to make you look bad. We're here to tell you South Africans are crying, and you are not helping. You're prioritizing foreigners. Thank you, Chair.
There's two friends of mine with PhDs who went there for postdocs interviews. Out of the 5 people who were interviewing them, 4 of them were foreigners. Kuri, when I say these things, I'm telling you, for when they called me, they went in fact on the same day. When they called me, they were almost ready, these are guys, they were almost ready to cry. And they're saying, no, we are South Africans. We have studied. You guys said we must study. We have studied. You guys paid for our studies. And now, at the tail end of our growth, you close us out. You have no idea how many professors write to me on a daily basis. I don't know many of them. They write to me and they say, by the way, when this dean who's a foreigner was put there, they are flushing us out on the system to put, and we must see who are they replacing us with. We're non-South Africans without following process. So when we raise these issues, we're not trying to buy favor from anyone. And we're not going to be soft on you, DG, because it is us doing our job. Because our job as public representative is to represent the public of this republic. And we're going to do it. I know they're not going to like us. We don't have a problem with that. We're not money. We're not going to be liked by everybody. Even money, there are some people who don't like it. I don't know who, but I'm told that there are people who don't like money. So we're not in the business of being liked. We're in the business of doing our job, and we're going to do it.